Indeed it is. So there we are. Chris, I invite you to unmute yourself and let's take it away. Welcome.
To clarify, thank you very much, Ken. Now, is it 20 minutes now, straight off?
Thereabouts, yep, absolutely. 20 minutes if that's what you've got, or 25 or 15, okay, whatever.
That'll do.
We're pretty flexible.
Okay. This is called Stitches. When I was 10, I went to a new school. One thing I remember about it was the food, the impossibility of eating it, how I hid slabs of liver between two plates, and how the headmistress wished to beat me on the hand for this. And my mother put a stop to that. There was one girl I liked, and I told her on the way to the bus. She swung her small square case at me. Its sharp edge cut me over the eye. The blood stained my grey glove black as I rode home on the top deck. The conductor and the doctor laughed. Even my mother smiled when I told the story about how I found out that a girl hits as hard as a boy. Yep.
Thank you.
This is called Lifeline, and it features at the end the national flower of Ukraine. Lifeline. When I was a boy, my father took me sailing from a beach to an island and back. In the sea were small, transparent jellyfish. Go straight, turn left, turn right, and there's the postbox, red with indigestion. I send another letter to you. After holding a sunflower, my palms are yellow. I notice my lifelines almost join as I cup my hands beneath the tap.
That's great, Chris.
I was a teacher in London for some years when I was trying to make a living as a musician, which is I didn't find possible. So those of you who've tried this, being a teacher anywhere, the hazard is you go out in the street and there's all these people who you don't recognize, but they come up to you and say, "Hello, sir. How are you doing?" This is called treadmill. Now I cannot run down streets. I must go to the gym, lift weights. In the foyer of the fitness center, waiting to pay my fee. "Hello, sir, it's me. Remember?" I do, but not her name. So many, just her face, and laughter all the time. You taught me and my friends. I try to get a clue, a year, a form, and I'm suddenly aware she sees who I've become. The person in the mirror I do not know. I pick up my bag and say, "I've left something behind." Go through glass doors that softly shut, and as she watches me walk away from someone she once was, recall heads bowed, late spring outside, windows open. One looks up, smiles, asks a question. Yes, I'm not announcing when these things finish. I just sort of stop. I hope that's okay.
That's perfect.
Those of you, I go to Greece as often as I can. And in Greece, some years ago, the Albanians were not very popular. There were quite a few Albanians who came into the country, and they were not greeted in any sort of friendly way. This holds for different populations around the world, as we know. Wherever you are, there tends to be a group like that. This is called an Albanian. This small boy standing before me, selling roses, knows no Greek or English, holds up one finger, which means 100 or 1,000, though he seems indifferent as to which. He lives in a van on the harbour. I saw him through the windscreen, his father's head in shadow play. I give 1,000 because he's not only himself, but also himself in 20 years, when he will be hard, bitter, strong, and wish to kill me. I hope the little boy's all right, but I doubt if he is. This is called baggage. I think you'll pick, some of you, I don't know whether baggage means the same thing everywhere. I mean, it's luggage, but it's also all the other stuff that you drag around with you from one life to the next. Baggage. On a warm summer afternoon, you left again. Regret and hope equal on your arm. The day left too, and night appeared. Ultramarine, then indigo. White sheets of cloud changed shape and moved across the moon's cold searchlight beam, pointing nowhere, thoughtlessly as you flew away deliberately, leaving me to watch the spiral glacier of lights, which, without a thought, we tell our children will return each night, no matter where they are, remembering to pick with care the moment to point out that, unlike the stars, we do not come back always. Then I went home and burnt your past. A bitter poem, that one. This is called Banished Children of Eve, which in Latin is Exulis Fili Evae, from the Roman Catholic prayer book somewhere, I'm not quite sure where. Banished Children of Eve. Moon, most silent burglar on the stairs. Iced red geraniums slightly chilled. A shutter beats against the wall. The calendar fires across the room. My father holding 2 old shoes. I kept my promise to myself and lied. Exulis Fili Evae. Once a man set fire to his front door, as if the last word had been said. A field of stones makes a wall around a field. Don't die before you're dead. This is called Catching Up. There's a couple of poems here about a little boy who I know very well. His name is Noah. A good name. Catching Up. He chases a sparrow that flies away. When he gets near, then lands, and as he catches up, flies off again. I want to tell him, but cannot work out how or why, that life is a sparrow, which flies away when you get close. And if you ever do wrap your hands around its frail winged body, the frightened heart beating beneath your fingers will make you let it go. And here's another one about Noah, looking into his future, going for a walk. The house is quiet, except for the sea outside. A boy stands before me, hair tousled, mouth still full from the table, pushing his feet into shoes. Someday, far from here, in his own life, he will be told that his mother wants to meet him one last time, and he will hesitate. This is what the waves confess. That's the end of that one. This is called Harbor. And in a way, it's about all these, indirectly, about our lives now. Harbor. The old place has changed, but remains the same. It would take a war or tidal wave to make much difference. Even then, the rock-covered plain and mountains would remain. What was right once will not be repeated. One thing's for sure, I will be forgotten. Good luck to all of us. Will that do? I thought this, or rather felt it, watching you walk away towards the beach. The sun shone through your dress, so your limbs were like shadows. And I saw that if you kept on walking, you would disappear. Outside the chapel on the quay, you asked me to light a candle for the boys. Request they be allowed a joyful life right to the end. And that's what I did, with a might for us unsaid. The harbor is so small, it can only shelter a few boats from the sea that stretches away beyond the wall all round the world. And Alexandra, that was written about the harbor at Skyros, the island of Skyros in Greece.
Where Rupert Brooke is buried there.
Yeah, where Rupert Brooke is buried, yes.
Yeah.
I went there to see him.
I climbed all the way up to his grave on top of the
The sea's, this is called Pebble. The sea's generous zen gives me this small disc of marble that seems a perfect circle. I have not tried to measure it because the sea did not try to make it. From Crete. This is a dialogue poem. When it's all said and done. In the window, I saw the end of the world. The sky was clear. The end of the world? I saw how we would end, disappear. We? I mean humanity, all of us. All of us? Not at once. Gradually. Gradually? Yes, million after million. And we'll take the world with us, some of it. How will it end? This is how it will end. The sky will be clear. It will be daytime. Nothing will happen. It will all have happened. The soft rind of the planet will have been unpeeled. Desert, mountains, small creatures underground will not notice. Two people open a gate and go into a garden. The great tree rises before them, hung with snakes and angels. They do not know which is which. That, I fear, is us. I'm going to just do one more, Ken.
Okay, thank you. It's been wonderful. You could do more if you wish.
Well, I think I could do one. I'll do one. I'll do two more then. And this one,
Okay.
this one I have read it to Words Out Loud before, but you may not all have heard it. This is about, again, when I was a musician, trying to make a living as a musician in London. Couldn't make a living at it all the time, did occasionally. And if you can't make a living, you have to do something else. So this is called cleaning up. When broke, you could always get work for a cleaning agency and be paid cash across a plywood desk in a small neon lit office somewhere off the Balls Pond Road. I was sent to knock on the doors of double-fronted villas in Chalk Farm and Belsize Park, with metal window frames, fitted beige carpets, and glass-topped coffee tables. The housewives took one look at me on the step and instantly knew I was not a habitual or effective cleaner of houses. But they let me in, handed over mop, bucket, pan and brush, dusters, polish and the vacuum cleaner, all of which in random and haphazard fashion I would immediately deploy. Once I'd made a start and they'd returned to their canister, tea and biscuits, silk cut king size, on the go all afternoon, I'd leave the Hoover droning noisily and search the cupboards for gin. I was handsome then and young, but I was never propositioned, which, looking back on it, seems a shame. Yes. Thank you very much for listening in. I'm going to finish here with this rather doom-laden short poem. It's called Did You Make It? Did you make it? Did you make it? And did you make the most of it? And did you make the most of it? And did you make the most of it? And if you did, it will be gone forever, just as if you'd done nothing, as if you'd done nothing, as if you'd done nothing. So, filling each hour with new thoughts and acts, and lying on the ground with eyes shut all day and night are the same. But if your eyes are open, looking up, at night you will see stars return and the moon make and unmake its round silver self. And by day the sun, if clouds allow, will walk across you, dawn to dusk. It makes no difference what we do. Everything comes back except for you and me, of course. Thank you very much, Ken. And
Oh.
thank you, everybody.
Well, that's wonderful, wonderful reading, Chris. We're really blessed to have you read for us this evening. It was lovely. I loved your work. Loved the poems. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, Chris, I really enjoyed your reading. I love the end of the world poem, especially. I would love to hear that again. Could you repeat it? I'm wondering, but, and
Not right
also,
now.
you sound like Michael Caine to me, Sir
yeah.
Michael Caine. Yeah. And did you ever find any gin?
Yes. But by the end of the world poem, do you mean the one about the
snakes and the,
yeah.
And yeah, yeah, I'd love to hear that again.
Well, what do you think, Ken?
I think if you have a request, who am I to deny it?
Well, this poem is in my book, which it is obtainable. I'll put the link where you can buy the book.
Thank you.
On the chat. It's called When It's All Said and Done. In the window, I saw the end of the world. The sky was clear. The end of the world? I saw how we would end, disappear. We? I mean humanity, all of us. All of us? Not at once, gradually. Gradually? Yes, million after million. And we'll take the world with us, some of it. How will it end? This is how it will end. The sky will be clear. It will be daytime. Nothing will happen. It will all have happened. The soft rind of the planet will have been unpeeled. Desert, mountains, small creatures underground will not notice. Two people open a gate and go into a garden. The great tree rises before them, hung with snakes and angels. They do not know which is which. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. That's great. Thank you so much. Okay, everybody. So just give everybody a couple of minutes to gather themselves, collect whatever it is you're going to read for us. I notice somebody called CW joined. Is that somebody I should know? If not, hello.
Hi, yeah, we spoke via email last week.
Great. Okay, well, it's wonderful to not see you. It's wonderful to almost see you and to hear you.
Yeah, I'm a bit camera shy.
Okay, there's no problem. What would you like me to call? How shall I address you?
Well, my name is Chris, but like my poetry name is CW Blackburn.
Oh, yes, of course. I remember. Oh, now I know.
Now you remember.
Now
yes.
I do remember. Okay. All right. So you're going to read for us. Yes, at some point.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sure, thank you.
Well, thank you. Wonderful to see you. Wonderful to have you join us. So welcome. Okay, those of you who know how this works will realize that the order in which you have been written down on my piece of paper that you can't see is irrelevant in terms of the order I shall ask you to read. So I've just had a couple of requests for either to read a bit early or to get an advanced just a heads up. But otherwise, I'm intending to surprise you a bit. So welcome everybody, and let's get this underway. And tonight, today, I think we will start by surprising Piers. I'm surprising you first. So unmute yourself, please.
Can you hear me, Ken?
Yes,
Hear me?
perfectly.
Yeah, you've taken me completely by surprise.
Good.
Ken, I'm reading, and everybody else, I'm reading from this very slim volume of poems, so just self-published. I'm reading from one that I've started reading months ago, and it's called, I'm a bit breathless because I've got this sort of flu thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but COVID negative. Anyway, I started reading this poem a few months ago. It's a long poem called Road Trip Isfahan, Annabelle and I. But I'm going to just read one little bit from very near the end. If you remember, what happened was that Annabelle, who was about 17, I think, and I was about 19, we drove in a Land Rover through Europe to Istanbul, and then on through Turkey and over the border into what was called Persia in those days, Iran. And anyway, there were lots of adventures. They went to a Bronze Age dig. And then on the way back, on the return to Istanbul, they went to the Topkapi Palace, which was the headquarters of the Ottoman Empire. So Istanbul at the east end of the Mediterranean, at one time, you know, the powerhouse of the Mediterranean. And so these two teenagers are going round the palace, and they come to the harem. And I'll start here. Returning at last to Istanbul, the Topkapi Palace and the harem, I read out loud from the guidebook. Every year, parents in the Caucasus would send the brightest and most beautiful girls as tribute to the Sultan. They were looked after by eunuchs, taught to dance and sing. With luck, they might eventually marry some powerful ruler in the provinces, or even become mother to the next Sultan and the most powerful woman in the Ottoman Empire. That is totally disgusting, said Annabelle. You seem to be saying that the exploitation of hundreds of women can be excused on the grounds that one might become the mother of a sultan. There was an ominous silence. I wished we had avoided the harem. I felt ashamed. I had not thought of it that way before, but she was right. The offer of a cup of coffee and sticky baklava did not assuage her anger. We were camped on the edge of the Bosphorus. Swimming and then lying in the sun helped. A bottle of Retsina later, and Annabelle seemed to forget the horrible fate of those long forgotten girls. In truth, she never did. That's the end of that little bit.
Thank you, Piers. Thank you very much. Okay. Next, I realized, by the way, that Holly, who tried to join and I removed, now says she can't rejoin because I've removed her. So I've got to try and find a way around that while we're reading. So next up, please, Pratibha.
Hi, I'm glad to be back here again. Chris, that was so much fun. I enjoyed it very much. I'm going to read a poem from my award-winning debut pamphlet, A Triptych of Birds and a Few Loose Feathers, which was published at the end of February by Hedgehog Press. And the book is dedicated to my mother. And this is a poem that was inspired kind of fictionally by her. Wild Lass of Kells. She shuffles on the curb outside O'Shaughnessy's, corner of Kelly and Dunleven Road. Her eyes the colour of Our Lady's veil, scorched bluer by her copper curls. On the lookout for the da, her task of a Friday night to wheedle the wages off of him before he sets out on the lash. Glad of a break from the chores, socks like a flock of crows forever jostling, hand-me-down frocks in need of hems, pants snagged on barbed wire nails atop of farmers' walls and fences. Herself, the firstborn of a baker's dozen, endless mopping up of spats, snail snots, scabby porridge pots. Licks of laughter, yellow light, sidle out the gaping door into the night, let out by culchies on their shuffle to the bar. Egypts with purple slurs for eyes, glances tossed her way, collection plate clink of small change at Sunday Mass. The odd time, a flash of lust, the most times shame. A rare smile to build her up. Sure, aren't you a dote now, Delia? Looking out for your mammy. God bless yourself. Eyes cast down, pious daughter of the Virgin, Lord love the child, in her wilting dress, miraculous blue medal clipped to the chest of her tatty cardigan. An occasion of sin, to be sure, Slovenes might take advantage of. Till she glances up, that glare, brazen as hell's fires, from the child of Mary of the scry eye, seventh daughter of a seventh son, flame hex of a wild blood tinker, skipping off home to a last scald of the pot, wedge of soda foul thick with dripping. Her pocket is a clatter of coins, only the lighter by a bleary-eyed pint.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was lovely. Thank you. Now, okay, next, I think, let's go with Karen, Kaza. Let's invite you. So,
Right.
unmute yourself.
Okay. No luck with Holly yet, huh?
Well, I've tried to send her an invite to see if she can join. We'll
Okay.
see.
Thank you, Chris. That was just a terrific reading. I really enjoyed it very much. Thank you. Especially that last poem and the very ending, those last few stanzas, are really beautiful. Okay, I'm reading a poem from Amanda Gorman, this beautiful young woman who was the poet for President Biden's inauguration, which she came out with a book called Call Us What We Carry. And it's primarily reflections about the pandemic and the effect on that. But I wanted to read her poem called Compass, because it really seems like right now, more than ever, the world has really lost its compass. So here it is. This year, the size of a sea, sick to its stomach. Like a page, we are only legible when opened to one another. For what is a book, if not foremost a body, waiting and wanting, yearning to be whole, full of itself? This book is full of ourselves. The past is one passionate deja vu, one scene already seen. In history's form, we find our own faces, recognizable but unremembered, familiar yet forgotten. Please, do not ask us who we are. The hardest part of grief is giving it a name. The pain pulls us apart, like lips about to speak. Without language, nothing can live at all, let alone beyond itself. Lost as we feel, there is no better compass than compassion. We find ourselves not by being the most seen, but the most seeing. We watch a toddler freewheel through warm grass, not fleeing, just running the way rivers do, for it is in their unfettered nature. We smile, our whole face cleared by that single dazzling thing. How could we not be altered?
Mm. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah.
That was lovely.
Pleasure.
Yeah, terrific. Thank you very much. Okay, next up, I think we'll invite Britta, please, to unmask yourself, unmute you. And
I'm
unmask
sorry
yourself.
you're stuck with this face. This
No,
is
no,
it.
no. We love it. Thank you. We love it. Don't get me wrong.
So, right, so I'm to follow Amanda Gorman. I'm not sure how I'll pull this one off, but let's just give it a try.
No problem.
This is a poem I wrote for the Boundary Way Allotment Writers Group, and it has since been accepted for a publication later this year in Scotland. It's a poem about how I save the world one packet of seeds at a time. Togetherness. I spread wild meadow seeds like my life depends on this misunderstood and underrated, understated capsule wardrobe of improbabilities. You call them weeds. I imagine each little sphere, each ovule enters the soil with a thundering roar. Hope beyond hope. I scatter the lion's breath of foreverness. Mostly though, not everness. Birds feed on my wild at their tiny heart's content, long before that thundering roar has the slightest chance to soar. You mock my relentless optimism, and still, no matter how small, insignificant, raw, riddled with never ever, ignore life's ruthless impossibilities. The too hot, then too cold, way too deep and dark to unfold. There's a promise, a world, abundance, patiently waiting, dreaming in all of them. Don't you know, the wild will always grow wilder. Trust me, and then trust me again. Trust each little sphere, each ovule to flourish, explode, shoot up like fireworks here, there, what the heck, where? Some will burst concrete with a stubborn mop of softest honey-sweet blooms. That's how you take over the earth for good, with an all-you-can-eat buffet, an open invitation, and not just for the pretty ones. Every beast welcome. Feast, feast, feast on my wildest lore.
Thank you. That was great. That was lovely. Well followed.
Well.
That was brilliant. Well done. Thank you. Right, next up is Alexandra, and she wants me to share a screen. God, remind me again how I did that. I can't remember.
You just go to share screen, enable all participants to share.
Oh, enable all participants. There it is. Or multiple. Multiple can share simultaneously. There you are. You're in. You should be in now. There you go.
Thank you. Can you actually see the graphics going by?
Yes, we can see a flying 8 and the graphics. Yep.
And you can see the graphics.
Yes.
Okay, sorry I ask every time because I had a few occasions where it was stuck on the cover. And
No, it seems to be working fine.
thank you. Το αντίξον συμφέρον και εκ των διαφερόντων καλεί στην αρμονία και πάντα κατέριν γίνεσθε. Contrasting elements converge, and from their union the most beautiful harmony is born. Heraclitus. And the river flows, the never-ending flow, and our bodies go against the flow, and our bodies go with the flow. So many people suffering, ailing, so many people flourishing, blooming, synthesizing turquoise love and kindness. Like a colourful blossom on a tree, directing, balancing our physical body, our beauty, into health, strength, vibrancy, healing weakness, disease, releasing our spirit into mystic quality. Fly, 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 fly. And the river flows, the never-ending flow, and our minds go against the flow, and our minds go with the flow. So many people devising, propagandizing discordant ideas, so many people initiating, rippling, harmonic ideas, synthesizing turquoise love and kindness, like perfect symmetry in an uneven diagram, directing, balancing our thoughts, our words, into order, clarity, relief, subduing darkness, chaos, releasing our spirit into mystic quality. Fly, 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 fly. And the river flows, the never-ending flow, and our hearts go against the flow, and our hearts go with the flow. So many people fighting, taking a dislike to each other. So many people collaborating, taking pleasure in each other's company, synthesizing turquoise love and kindness, like a spark of fire in the darkness, directing, balancing our emotions, our passions, into hope, courage, brilliance, overcoming resentment, fear, releasing our spirit into mystic quality. Fly, 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 fly. And the river flows, a never-ending flow, and our souls go against the flow, and our souls go with the flow. So many people gloomy, stressing, outside their magical world. So many people glowing, shining inside their magical world. Synthesizing turquoise love and kindness, like the fluorescent glow of a firefly, directing, balancing our intuition, our flame, into aspirations, visions, luminance, phosphorizing visible, invisible, releasing our spirits into mystic quality. Fly, 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 fly. And the river flows, just let it flow. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you.
Takis the guitarist.
Thank you. Wonderful guitar. Thank you.
Thank you very
Wonderful
much. Thank you.
pictures, everything. That's great. Thank you. Okay. So who is next? Kiana, you are next, please. Unmute yourself and we'll take it away.
Okay. Hello,
Yes.
my name is Kiana the Artist.
Hello.
And I'm going to read, my book of the month is Power of Virtuous Woman. You can find it on Amazon, Kindle, and different things like that. So I'm going to say my poem. It's called Pretty Miss. And here goes. Pretty Miss. I'm this little shy girl that's called pretty. See, I've been called pretty all my life. How I known to be pretty? Because of the dark skin and pretty long hair. See, I'm pretty, just the way I am. I'm the little shy girl that's called pretty, pretty, pretty. Do I change the color of the rainbow? See, I'm pretty, just the way I am. I'm this little shy girl that's called pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm the little shy girl that wants to fit in all the right places. See, I'm pretty, just the way I am. I'm the little shy girl that's called pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm the little shy girl. Do I wear jeans or do I wear a skirt? See, I'm pretty, just the way I am. I'm the little shy girl that's called pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm the little shy girl that wants to fit in right in all the right places. See, I'm pretty, just the way I am. I'm the little shy girl that's called pretty.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
so
And I'll
much.
put all my information in the chat, and
Please.
everybody can find me on Kiana the Artist on every social media, from TikTok to YouTube and a little bit of more. I just put it all in the chat box.
Thank you. It's great to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So next up, please, I'm going to ask C.W. Blackburn. Chris.
Hello.
Unmute yourself, please.
Okay, and I should turn my camera on. Hello.
Oh, there you are. Here he is.
I've appeared. Okay, so I'm going to read from my first collection, which I just published, called When Words Are Yet to Be Spoken, Poems for Presents. That's on Amazon. Okay, so I'm going to read a poem called Hope. If you want to know where I've been, I went under, I went within, to a place that's not on any maps, for a time no clocks can measure. Whilst there, I heard the untold whispering of a billion angels. I saw innumerable lives flashing in and out of existence, beauty and love carried on vast currents of light, a celestial glow illuminating an endless sky, a thousand-petaled flower unfolding its color in a depth and height that passes all understanding, a rose and a flame dancing and merging together, embracing forever in ecstatic celebration, in bliss and oneness, with the absolute wonder of all life and creation. And coming back to myself, I prayed that our eyes would open in time, that we would learn to sing again with our true voice and teach each other in service the harmony and union we feel in our hearts. So summoning my will, I created a star, a tiny point of light in an infinite dark. And cupping it gently in my hands, I placed it in the sky on behalf of all creatures and beings, the countless lives already born, and the nameless masses of the unborn, in dedication and compassion to every soul that ever existed or will exist in this essence, so that we might have a light to help us remember who we are, what we've been, and what we could be. A beacon to symbolize the miracle of creation and the fragility of the earth that we walk on. And every time you look up on a clear night, you will see it, blinking its light and growing brighter as every heart opens to its grace. Let it be a mirror to reflect in humility the love we have left to live and the grateful presence we are, the unspeakable potential of the human race. So pray, have faith. This is a gift. I went under, I went within. And in the cosmic dark, I found our inheritance and crowned it with light, so that we might have a point of contact with the divine, a still, silent space to approach in recognition what we already are and what we could be. I created a star, and I called it hope.
Chris, thank
Thank
you. That's
you.
great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And welcome. Chris, I'm not sure I've put you, I don't think I've added you to our mailing list yet. So if you'd like me to do that, I'm happy to do that. So you'll get notification of things as they come up.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you've got my email, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put you on. Thank you. Next up, please. And again, let's welcome Nora.
Hello, I'm Nora.
Hi.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous, to be honest, so bear with me.
Okay, nobody's listening, it's fine.
I'm going to be reading an excerpt from a novel, so it's not a poem, but yeah.
That's great.
The sky is cut to pieces by the silhouette of the people. They are shadows, their features melting into the shadow that stretches over them like a second skin. The red, orange, and yellow of the sinking sun encompasses the black figures, and the immense blue is solitary above them all. It hangs apart from the scene, and I keep my eyes on it, searching for the lonely stars that become brighter as the sun sinks lower. The yellow is the first to leave, but the red lingers for a moment before it too is gone. The blue is quickly turns to black, and soon the silhouette turns to barely lit faces, where all of the edges are silver. It's only when I turn back that I see the silver moon. The lights are quickly drawn on, brightening all the faces in one cold flash, even washing out the moon. The people seem so bright beneath the white, artificial lights that they overshadow the sky. The lonely stars have vanished for the night. All that is left is this, them, and nothing else.
Thank you. Well done. How do you feel now?
Still nervous.
Okay.
But better, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you so much. And again, I don't think you're on my mailing list either. Would you like me to add your email address to our mailing list?
Yes, please.
Okay, I think I have it from Eventbrite. So I'll just add you. Okay, that's great. Next up, please, let me ask Sue to unmute. Sue, you there? Yeah.
Hello, good evening, everybody.
Hi.
I'm going to read one that I read at the last open mic. It's called Shopping for Peace. Can you help? Can anyone help? I'm shopping for peace this fine morning, but there doesn't seem much good stuff in stock. I've tried M&S and the Co-op, Sports Direct and that florist right next to the clock. I've searched high and low in the high street, north, south, west, east, and I'm now resting here. But there's no sign of any peaceful solutions or ointments or salves in the air. I'm shopping for peace this fine morning. It's the one thing on my list not ticked done. There's been a run on supplies of guns, tanks and knives, free postage and buy 2 for 1. I can get a peace candle and a Stay Peaceful manual from Smith's or that Between the Lines place. But we need concrete and lasting, not a patchwork of plastering, and it all needs to happen at pace. I'm shopping for peace this fine morning. Can I order if I prepay on my card and send direct to Ukraine to ease some of their pain? Why on earth is this search quite so hard? I'm shopping for peace this fine morning. We've run out and it just will not do. The containers are all being held close to Russia in a roadblock that won't let them get through. I'm shopping for peace. Oh, I'm quite finished. I'm shopping for peace and will find it. It's in the hearts of incredible men, in brave women and children and students. It's in the stories that emerge from a pen. I'm shopping for peace this fine morning, and I've been scouring the shop so far in vain. Perhaps a coffee and a cake while I'm waiting. Then the search must begin once again. Can you help? Can anyone help? Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Thank you very much. Good to hear that again.
Yeah.
Okay, next we'll invite Tina, please. Tina.
Hi, hello.
Hello. Yeah.
I really feel I'm sort of in between, should I do a poem about Ukraine or something totally different to cheer everyone up? But I kind of feel that I should do the Ukraine poem because I think it's just, we have to talk about it. So this is one I did today, and it's called It Could Be Us. It could be us, dodging bullets, a holdall, one pair of shoes, child dangling, gasping for breath, running for our lives. It could be us on the border to anywhere, scrambling for a seat, chancing a lift with a stranger, legs like lead, heart heavier. It could be us, stuck in a dark cellar, hearing the thud of bombs, shelling the beauty above us, heads low, spirits sinking. It could be you, lying on a thin mattress, someone else's blanket, someone else's jumper, hearing a stranger cough. It could be you giving thanks, gratitude for a snack, a bottle of water, a pack of nappies, whilst knowing all you have left. It could be you leaving home, family, work, making up stories to soothe a crying child, making up stories to soothe a stranger. It could be you, it could be us.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you. Next, please, I'd like to ask Wheezy.
Really enjoyed everybody's reading. We're going to Ukraine again. This is called Besieged. Tiny arms reach for Papa's hug. Little fingers grab his helmet. Her gaze moves past Father's shoulder with the shock and horror of dark, old eyes buried in the midst of an angelic face. Sees bullets fly, bombs explode as distant cousins enter her land. Babushkas no longer keep Mama warm, swaddling on the run, with little ones hang onto her skirts, keeping pace. Papa stays behind to protect what once was, what will be again. Builds barricades, Molotov cocktails, missiles explode tanks, and still they come. Antiquity blooms a czar, Stalin's turn of the screw reborn, steeped in his own myth, spies the breath of liberty embedded in the soil of a neighbor, grips his hammer, his sickle, removes, destroys, obliterates, and still they come. As night falls, Russian tanks, convinced they have stolen fire from heaven, do not retreat to wisdom, do not retreat to shame. They grind forward, and still they come. A passing child slips seeds of sunflowers into a torn pocket of a dead invader with a prayer for them to take root, bloom another day, covering the bones of the misbegotten transgressors. And still they come. I'd like to say this poem is dedicated to Victoria of Kharkiv. I'm not pronouncing that city right, but there were two pregnant women photographed after the Russians bombed this hospital, and one died and one lived. Victoria is the little daughter of the woman that lived.
Thank you, Wheezy. Thank you. Okay, and breathe. Christine, you're up. Christine, do you hear me? Are you there? You seem to be.
Oh.
There we are.
That would help.
There you go.
There are two short poems, if that's okay.
Mhm.
Life goes on. You are missing the surprise of blue sky above the fire station, and against it the slender black branches framing the flint church. If you were here, we'd mention the early daffodils by the maisonettes and see the sun shimmering on windscreens as cars slow by the traffic lights. At the one stop, abandoned sweetie wrappers gather by the bin, not quite making it in. Life goes on. I wonder if you're on some sunny balcony or investigating a gallery. Have you remembered sun cream and a hat? Here the day will darken and I'll prepare tea without glancing over the road to see if your car has returned. And this one I found, thank you for, it was written 4 years ago, but it mentions Putin because at the time we were all very worried about terrorism. And this is An Ordinary Day. Where will it all end? My neighbour Brenda is at her front door, rubbing a cloth hard across the brass letterbox. Every news that comes on, it's Russia this, Putin that, or terrorism. They're interfering in our country and getting away with murder. Try not to worry, I say. We'll have a chat when I get back from work. I'm hurrying, but I turn to say, and don't listen to the news. Just you be careful, she calls. The station platform is busy. The 8:30 arrives and we pile on. I think of the latest outrage, a couple on an ordinary day, poisoned at a pizza restaurant, or was it on a park bench? People are crowding in around me. I check out their bags. It's automatic these days, sizing up my fellow passengers. We enter the tunnel. The lights flicker. There's an enormous bang, and everything goes black. And that's it.
Wow. Thank you, Christine. Well, there we are. So once again, big thanks to Chris Hardy for a great reading, but also thanks to all of you. Your readings have been fantastic, insightful, thoughtful, wonderful to hear. So thank you, everybody. So let me just say before we go, the next Zoom reading is on April the 20th. And all else permitting, we will endeavor to make that reading a Zoom from Wagtail Coffee and Yoga. So we'll try and do it then because we couldn't do it today. So April 20th, you'll get the normal notification. For those of you who are local, the next two sort of local events coming up are that we will be at Wagtail Coffee and Yoga in Chichester on April the 6th, as usual, the first Wednesday. And on the Saturday after that, Saturday, April the 9th, we have a workshop at Pallant House Gallery that you might be interested in signing up for. It's a workshop on writing inspired by works of art. So we'll be in Pallant House, one of the large galleries there, using the works of art in the gallery as inspiration to do some creative writing. It's called Words of Art, and information is both on our website and on Pallant House, and you can sign up from Pallant House's gallery. So please do that.
And will that be at 11:30 in California then, or back to our other time?
Okay, I'll tell you about that. next month, it'll be back to 10:30 in California.
Okay.
Because our clocks go on at the end of March. So now, but also if you're looking on the website, any of you, if you're looking on the website at some of the timings, I notice that some of the timings for April are wrong. All of our readings are always 6:30 p.m. local time here. Whatever that time is where you are, it's always 6:30 p.m. here, the evening reading. And I see some of them are on 5:30 there because it hasn't taken account of the time change. We'll get Mike to change it on the website, so it will be brought up to date, but it won't happen this week. But just a word of warning. And lastly, if you are interested in submitting a poem to our poetry contest, and those of you who have, thank you so much for doing that. The poetry contest is still open until Sunday. So again, information on the website. The theme for the poetry competition is What's in a Year. You are most welcome to submit that. And whether you live here or not, your submission is posted in the window of Wagtail Coffee and Yoga for the world to look at and read and enjoy.
Ken, may I ask, is that workshop on Zoom also?
It will not be, I don't think. We will see if we can, but at the moment, I mean, it's because it's in a gallery, it's a bit more complicated for us to make that arrangement. So it may not be. If it is, I'll let you know, clearly. Okay. All right.
Sorry, where do we register for the 20th of April, Word Out Loud?
Again, that is on our website under the events. It's the event, it's about 2 or 3 events below this. It's Barry Smith. The featured reader is, again, a local poet, Barry Smith, and you'll see it on our website saying Barry Smith, followed by open mic. So everything is accessed through the website. All right, wonderful to see you guys. Say again?
Is that going to be a hybrid?
I'm pretty sure it will be, yes.
Okay.
We're going to try and make it that.
Right.
But we'll still be able to do what we normally do with you, Alexandra. So we'll still be able to share the screen and do all that stuff.
Yes, I've been to quite a few of those.
Okay, good. Well, you may know more about it than I do then.
Well, the one in O'Beals in Ireland, we have a very large screen, which is great.
Yeah, well, which we don't have at the moment, but we're gonna go for it and we'll see how it works. Okay. Wonderful to see everybody. Thank you so much. Thanks to Chris. Thank you everybody for being here. Love to see you. Love you all.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you,
everybody.
See you soon.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you very much. Love you.
Love you. Bye, Karen.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Say goodnight, John Boy.
Thanks, Ken.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Good work.
Very much.
Thank you.
See you next
The
time.
6th, yeah, 3 weeks it is, I think. See you then. Bye, Chris.